So what we see right here is Maurice, one of our students, posting his results after just 7 days. As we can see here, after just 7 days, this channel was already getting 8,000 views every 48 hours. And then after 13 days of running this channel, he has been able to apply for the YouTube partnership program and actually got approved. Now, how did we do this and how do we end up doing this over and over and over and over again with our students? Our students are getting monetized on average in 3 to 6 weeks. Now, how do we do that? All of that in today's video. I'll explain to you guys exactly what you need to do or what I do to do this over and over again. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, Stefan, 23 years old, currently making between $30,000 and $40,000 a month, constantly starting new channels, as we can see right here. Then I've made $42,000 with just 2 videos. I've, scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in 30 days, as we can see here. And then, I didn't just help Maurice, I helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here, Martins, who have helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Then here, completely blew up a small channel, 100,000 views in the last 48 hours with 1,500 subscribers. Here, a channel doing $23,000 a month. Let me just remove this. Here, $23,000 in one single month. Then here, $4,000 a month, $12,000 a month, and many, many more. If you are interested in getting the same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book your completely free call with me, and we will have a look if it makes sense to work together and if I can scale you up. All right. Now, that being said, go ahead and book your call and let's get started into the video. Now, the first thing I teach all of my students so they completely understand the YouTube space is supply and demand. All right. This is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation. And most people do not teach this and most people do not know this. And that's why that's why you're failing with YouTube, because you don't know that YouTube is essentially just a marketplace. Right. And just like any other marketplace, YouTube has supply and YouTube has demand. Okay. Now, what does this actually mean? So demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. Now, what we want to do is we want to find a gap in the middle, right? A gap between these two. And that's exactly why we are monetizing channels so fast, because we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to find something that people are already interested in, but there is nothing like that. All right. Then, what do normal YouTubers do? They take years to build their personal brands, spend years building a connection with their audience, takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. All right. What we do, we look for a topic or a niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply. As I said, we're looking for a gap between these two. Okay. That is what you need to do when you're doing niche research. All right. Supply and demand on YouTube is crazy. It's the most important thing. All right. And while you're doing niche research and you're looking for supply and demand, there is specific niche criteria we always look at to kind of identify that. All right. So firstly, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there is high demand and low supply. So we're essentially looking for small channels that are getting way more views than they have subscribers. All right. There are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content, than my competitors. Am I actually interested in this niche? Not a must. As long as you actually go ahead and you build a team that has interest in that niche, then is the niche monetizable? Super important. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money. Huge bonus if you can post long videos in that niche. All right. Now, very important, this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find. Okay. Does not need to be perfect. All right. But it has to be good. Okay. Then how do we actually go ahead and do niche research? So we actually go ahead and we set up a dummy account, and I'll show you in a second how that looks like. This is basically an account that we only use for niche research. The homepage changed for our advantage. All right. And that's why the dummy account is so powerful. YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we are wanting to watch, and we can use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. Instead of me explaining, all of this, how does this look and all of these things, let me actually go ahead and show you. Because once you have a dummy account set up, you can find endless niches with it. So this here is my dummy account. I can just reload it. On my dummy account, you can see faceless niche, faceless niche, faceless, 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 faceless. All of these videos are all faceless. All faceless. Here, another one, faceless, right? New channel, completely faceless. Okay, let me actually show you guys very quickly how you can set up an account like this. So you basically go ahead, you open up a brand, like a new YouTube account, like here, for example, brand new YouTube account. I'm just going to show it to you guys in incognito now. Then you are literally going to look up anything, like anything you are interested in, like for example, the biggest houses. Then you're going to scroll down. All right. You're going to scroll down and you're going to keep your cursor on this video to make sure that this is actually a faceless video. All right. Once you see it is a faceless video, then you go ahead and you click on this video. All right. Then you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel. You can like this video and like keep on watching this video, and you can click on the next one. All right. But always make sure that you click on faceless videos. All right. Always just faceless videos, and you continue this for a while. So here's another faceless video. Here's another faceless video, and you just continue doing this for a while. And YouTube will later on learn like, hey, okay, this specific person just wants to see faceless videos on the YouTube homepage. They don't want to see anything else, right? Then we can go back to our YouTube homepage, and here we can see now faceless video. Now, just keep in mind, we didn't do it for very long now, but faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless, faceless. We can see already, like just by doing it like for this short amount of time, our YouTube homepage is basically filled up with just faceless videos. So this is a super powerful way to do niche research. So let me actually show you guys what you do then. So once your account is set up, you can actually go to your YouTube homepage, and I would highly, highly recommend you guys NextLive. I'll link it in the video description. It's like 13 euros a month. But with NextLive, you can now actually see the subscriber counts of the channels, because you only want to click on small channels, right? As we can see right here, that get a lot of views. Okay, click on the channel. Then we can have a look. Okay, 26 videos. This channel is, let me have a look. The most popular video is 4 months old. So it's not doing that great, I would say, because the most popular video only has here, for example, 64,000 views. So not the best channel. So we will continue to do niche research. Let's say here, for example, the gardening standard, small channel, 20 videos getting 100,000 views almost a week. So this looks way better. So here we can see it's a bit of an older niche, but 200,000 views is a bit more like it. Sounds better. All right. Then we click on analytics like that. And then we actually scroll down and we just let NextLive load. As I said, like it's 13 euros a month, saves so much time, because, you can load up all of the analytics and all like the RPM of the channels. You can load up the revenue. You can load up all of these things. And, as I said, like it's 13 euros a month, and all of this information, super important for you to actually decide if you want to go into that niche or not, right? If we look at Maurice, I already know what he made in his first month. He made $5,000 in his first month of, working with me, simply because of the reason that we picked a niche that has a good RPM. All right. There's a testimonial coming, or a case study video coming with him. So that's going to be super interesting. He runs very interesting channels. All right. So this takes quite long now to load. Okay. So here we can see, okay, $3 RPM, and this channel is not making too much money. So now we know, okay, this might not be the best niche for me to go into right now. Okay. Then we go back to niche research. All right. So now you guys know how to kind of pick a niche. The next thing is, if you pick a niche, or once you pick the niche, it's all about speed. Like YouTube is player versus player, and the player who's going to play the game the fastest is always going to win. So you want to create your channel, and this is something that should not take you longer than 10 to 15 minutes. It should not take you longer than 10 to 15 minutes, all right? Now, I understand the logo, the banner, all of these things. You can do all of that with ChatGPT, everything. Let me just show you, all right? Let me open up ChatGPT. Whoops, ChatGPT. And I'll show you how quickly you can do that. All right. You can click here on Explore GPTs. All right. I always do it exactly like this. Then I just go for logo. Boom. Here, logo creator. And I just click on, I don't know why it's so slow at the moment. I click on Start Chat. Then I will tell it like, hey, boom. I'll paste the screenshot of my competitor channel inside here. I'll tell it I am creating a channel similar to this about, let's say, for example, a fish. Please create me a similar logo. Boom. Now it's going to create the logo for us. So I'll just get you guys back once this is done and created, and you guys will see how crazy this is, okay? Boom, it's done. This is now a very simple logo, but this is how quickly it can go. And to test the channel, this is more than enough. We can just go and roll with this, all right? So this should not take you longer than 10 to 15 minutes, all right? Then we want to actually go ahead and warm up our accounts. We usually want to do this before, but we want to warm up our accounts, all right? So we warm up our accounts to increase our trust score. Now, trust score is just how much does the platform actually trust our YouTube channel. Now, what accounts need to be warmed up? New accounts and aged accounts, all right? These are the only two accounts that actually need to be warmed up. Now, how to warm up your account? Use it as a normal user. So watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day. Subscribe, comment, and like to, different videos, best case videos in your niche. And then do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score. This does not work 100% of the time, but it does work, all right? Now, very important, do not spam, subscribe, comment, and like, all right? Act like a normal human. And then always have 1 to 2 warmed up channels ready to go. Then, very important is that, once you start posting, most people forget that supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but also in the video topics you choose. All right. And this is exactly why with our students, we always go ahead and we choose the niche together. And we also choose the first few video topics together. So we can make sure that they are going into the right direction from the start on. All right. Now, if you're interested in, you want that help too, check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me. Now, how do you actually go ahead and find demand? You look at recent outlier videos on competitor channels, look at recent trending formats, and very important, do not go ahead and copy the most success or the most popular videos from competitors. This is what everyone does, and your videos will 100% fail. So if you go ahead and you just go ahead and copy this channel or this video one-on-one, your video is going to fail. Promise me. I promise you. All right. Your video is going to fail. Now, how do you find supply? Use your YouTube search bar and look for how many people have created videos have created the exact same video. If it's been done more than 3 times and you don't have a different angle, go ahead and do a different video. All right. YouTube will always show your videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. And if they have already seen that video multiple times, they don't have a reason for clicking on your video except if it follows a different angle. All right. Now, how does a perfect video topic actually look like? A perfect video topic is a topic that actually resonates with your audience. So ask yourself, do they even want to watch this? Or, some topics sound interesting but are super boring. So make sure that your topic is not boring. Your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend. Repeat what has done well in the past. I'll tell you guys more on this later. Then leverage negativity, because humans always respond better to negative things. I know it's funny, but they do, right? We do. We just do. Okay. Then, once we have all of this and we have some good topics, I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So firstly, we always do niche research. Then we choose an account, so either new account, personal account, aged account, or pre-monetized account. I usually go with new accounts, personal accounts, or even aged accounts. Not that often with pre-monetized accounts. I don't like pre-monetized accounts to build long-term channels. But yeah, then we choose 10 to 15 videos, okay? Now, don't choose random videos. Actually, go ahead and try to choose extremely good video topics. That's just going to make your life way easier. Then we're going to write the script with ChatGPT, Claude, whatever AI you want to use. Just write your script, get your script done. Voiceover, we're going to use 11 Labs or GenAI Pro, whatever voiceover tool you want to use. For the editing, we're going to use a freelancer. All right. Many of you guys know that I like the traditional way of doing YouTube automation. So I still work with my freelancers or my video editors. They're creating my videos. All right. So you can look for someone that's going to charge you anywhere from $15 to $30 max per video. All right. Because we don't want to spend too much money on a channel where we don't know if it's going to work or not. Then you're going to look for, you need to create a thumbnail. So you can either, hire a freelancer to do that for you, or you can just do it yourself. If you're decent at creating thumbnails, just do it yourself. If you can create thumbnails like this, which is not the hardest thing, go ahead and just do it yourself and save some money. Then you want to make sure that your video is 1.5 times longer than your competitor video. This is massive because YouTube will always, push the video that keeps a viewer on YouTube for the longest period of time. Then your thumbnail and your title should be something that has already worked before. So if you're going to go into this niche with fish, you want to create similar thumbnails to this channel just for fish, just as an example. All right. Then you want to go into the posting phase. So you're going to post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post. You can do a different sequence as well if you want to. But what is important is that you are not acting like a bot on YouTube. So your views, once you post all of these videos, you're also not going to post more than 15 videos. But what is going to happen? Either, you're actually going to start getting views like there. And then, once you get views, you're actually going to continue to post. All right. If you don't get views and, it's the case where you don't get any views at all, then you don't post any new videos and you go ahead to the next niche. All right. Now, the reasons why a channel might fail is because of the niche, the video topics, the packaging, the video length, or maybe it's just a bad channel. And you can usually see that it's a bad channel if you're not getting any impressions. Right? And if you're not getting any impressions, you take these exact videos, you delete them from the channel, and you post them to a different YouTube channel. Okay? Now, in case of a channel failing, just go back to niche research and repeat this process as many times as possible. And I promise you, you will find something that wins. All right? I always say stop watching these videos and start doing, because this is the fastest way you're actually going to learn how YouTube automation works. All right? Now, if you're interested in getting the same results as, for example, Maurice, then, just check out the first link in the video description. Let's build up your YouTube channel together and, go ahead and book your call. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.